So I would just like to state for the record that this is not suspicious at all, nor does it raise any questions, either generally or regarding anybody's judgment. I just had to say that.
Are you saying that you're not going to leave your children, like, some kind of questionable, mysterious artifact that is definitely important to them, and just leave it on a cabin in the middle of the mountains and be like, someday you'll need this?
Not only will I do that, I will tell, like, one guy to tell them, and he might tell them, might not. Maybe, like, you know, events and life will conspire to make sure that they never even fucking meet, but so help me, I will tell exactly one person to pass this message on. And no clear instructions for when exactly to do it, and just hopes it'll all work out.
I'm sure everything will be fine. I mean, that's a good, sensible way to do your inheritance.
Sigh.
Anyway, it's everybody's favorite enemies. The bats are back.
Why is it always bats? Or rather, why are bats always like this? Like, it's not just me, right? It's just the goddamn bats, always. Someday I'll play a video game and the bat enemies will be great. But not today.
Like, it doesn't seem like it should be that hard to make bats that aren't giant, obnoxious pieces of shit.
And yet, this kind of thing transcends genres. It's not even just RPGs, it's like action games do this stuff as well. I'm pretty sure by now everyone's just doing it deliberately, like, oh, you got bats in our video game. It's time to make it incredibly annoying.
Anyway, welcome to the gimmick of the Celestial Alps, where you will try to go somewhere, and then the game will be like, nah, but what if you had to go fight this enemy that's in an inconvenient spot first?
Aha. Like, what even is the thesis here? Like, that the thing on the ground is... Like, is that thing it's supposed to be like its neck, and it's tunneling all the way through the ground, or is it just like... No, fuck you, there's tentacles here for some reason.
I mean, they're supposed to be directly connected to these things.
I mean, are you seeing these things?
They can explode, so, you know, who's to say that they can't make a giant tentacle appear?
I mean, there's no evidence that they can't. I mean, including... You'd have to include that they don't do that in this battle to fight you, when it seems like it would be pretty convenient for them to do that, so I guess that's kind of questionable, but...
Anyway, the other thing that they do is they have an attack that will poison you, so you may want to get a couple extra truffles before you come through here, because there's a lot of those mosquito enemies.
Yeah, that seems pretty annoying. Like, seriously? There's like multiple distinct rock formations between us and them, and this is the explanation we're gonna go with? Like, really? Well, okay, whatever. Don't think I'm not appreciating how they're making you jump between screens and, like, making some progress, and then, whoops, you have to backtrack, but you can't unbacktrack, you gotta go the whole fucking way around again.
If there is a mercy to this area, it is that it is only like 3 screens long. But by God, they get a lot out of those 3 fucking screens.
They make those 3 screens count. They manage to express some spite. I believe I have spoken before on this game and naked expressions of spite. don't think I've forgotten that we're going back to that fucking tower.
I appreciate that when it happens, if Callus is turned the right way, you can just see him making this, like, are you fucking serious expression?
Fucking seriously? You for real right now? This hurts me in my soul, which I don't have. I guess that's one way to make him sympathetic. I don't really know how I feel. Actually, that's a lie. I know exactly how I feel most of the time about video games that do like a really annoying thing, and then the characters in universe are like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And the designers are in the background implicitly like being like, "Hey, you see, we understand that this is weird and awkward. So like, actually, this is good game design because we have the characters comment in universe on how it's bad game design." But actually, this means that we're good at our jobs and haven't just made you play a bad video game with a wink and a nod. Like I said, I know exactly how I feel about that.
The worst thing is that a lot of this stuff is really fucking good. Like, that Apocalypse sword is, like, one of the strongest single-target swords that Callus gets. Like, it's incredible, actually.
And yet it's mired in all this bullshit. Well, is this like the third time we've had to make that exact one-way jump? Like, what? Yeah, I'm with Callus. Like, seriously, what the fuck? This whole thing is just... Well, at least it's short, like you said. I can see a horrifying alternate universe in which this bullshit went on for like 10 screens. Like a whole maze in this style.
That's the thing about this game in general, is that for the most part, all of its gimmicks are like fucking terrible, but I guess the developers just got bored or whatever because they only use them. The dungeons they design around those gimmicks are only like 3 or 4 screens long.
It's only a handful of times we've really seen it get out of hand. Oh, we're absolutely stealing one of these, aren't we?
Oh, we are 100% stealing. In fact, we're gonna steal 2.
Yeah, we don't want to kill it. That's a... My "we don't want to kill it" remark is raising a lot of questions already addressed by the remark.
So, that save point is very, very important. Do not miss that save point, or you will want to cry when you go inside this cabin.
Oh wow, this sounds good. I assume there's a severe to high risk of having to replay, all of that again.
Oh, replaying the dungeon wouldn't even be the worst part of what happens if you forget to save before going in this house.
I would also like to know about my father's legacy.
No, but seriously, he has the exact same voice as Larikush.
Supposed to be dead?
Sorry to disappoint you, but it's not that easy.
To get rid of us.
Oh boy.
It's been a while, hasn't it, Callus? After our fight at the Gold Oboe, we kept a low profile and watched the story unfold. We weren't quite sure what was going on at first. To think we were tricked by a mere girl. I knew that the Emperor and Melodia were on good terms, but I never realized the girl was controlling the Emperor all along. What in the world is she? But keeping watch from Anu Anue was a wise decision. Now we know the whereabouts of Larikush too.
It's been 10 years. How did you not find him? He's just in a random fucking farming town.
Yes.
He's not even trying to hide.
We had preparations to take care of.
Anyway, even though it makes absolutely no fucking sense, we're going to fight you to the death now.
I believed you had all died in that explosion. Imagine my surprise when nearly a decade later...
Like, seriously, why do we even care?
In Mirror. I couldn't believe my ears when I heard the man had a grandson with only one wing.
I told him to stop, but he was obsessed with making stuff. He loved using his inventions to help people out. There was no end to his tinkering.
My father, Georg, had a special talent. Did you notice, Callus? His gift was the ability to talk with objects. This helped him when he was working for the Empire. He would modify the experimental Magnus, all the while discussing theories and results with it. I heard my grandmother, Georg's mother, lost her way in the lava caves when she was young. As you know, one of the End Magnus was sealed there. Though Georg's mother didn't notice, the power of the evil god must have tainted her.
Gonna be honest, this seems like a bit of an asshole here, Giacomo.
Taint was passed on to him.
Yeah, like,
Back then,
what?
Georg was totally obsessed with his experiments. They took precedence over everything else. It was almost as if he was possessed. In retrospect, the power of the End Magnus may have been...
I mean, yeah, I'll give you that, but also I don't think it's because his mother was literally tainted by the evil god because she wandered into the lava caves.
Fool of him. He was simply infuriated. The Elder Blame had completely...
Also, does this mean that the taint is genetic? Is this how it works? Does it get passed down?
I would have wanted to bring
Is that a
Georg back to the
thing?
Empire and have him renew his research. Oh well. Enough talk. Amy, Valon, we shall proceed.
Just give the word.
Ready when you are.
Anyway, there isn't actually any point, but I guess our pride is wounded and we need to prove something to someone. So, die.
I mean, I think it's more of hey, we're here to kill the divine child. For real this time, because now we know he's in you. So we'll just kill you.
Oh, you hear something? Really?
We had to infiltrate a lab in Yintaka for these. I think this might work on you, Callus.
So, you know how throughout the entire game we've been building this trust mechanic that lets us, like, bullshit the fuck out of the game's deck mechanics?
What's going on?
Uh-huh. Is it about to pay off?
Hypertoxic sound waves.
Hypertoxic sound waves.
Spirit is made up of a voice whose power transferred from another world. The resonance field of hypertoxic sound waves smothers the voice and negates the spirit's
Yeah, the
power.
game's about to take it all away from us.
Protected by your guardian spirit's power.
What?
Are you okay, Callus?
I mean, is that even very much of a thing at this point?
Not especially.
Also, why is that last one a question?
I don't have strength anymore.
You're a wreck, Callus. How much can you do on your own, huh?
Even without the spirit's power, you should at least try your best to amuse us. I'll give you an A for effort.
Let us begin. Enough about time, Callus. Come,
Also,
here and
just gonna put this out there.
friend, boy.
Has anyone considered, you know, just breaking the bells?
Has anyone considered going outside?
I mean, that as well.
Like, we don't have to fight right here.
I mean, maybe the hypertoxic sound waves are giving everybody brain damage in addition to, you know, their intended effect. Anyway, so this seems like it's gonna be complete bullshit.
So, yes, this is, what is this, fight number 4 with Giacomo? At any rate, it's, this is the last one. Thank God, because it goes about as well as all the other ones do. This is an extremely long slog of a fight, on top of all of their gimmicks, which they all have now from the start of the fight. They've brought a couple new toys. Most notably, they have a couple buffs that they will throw out. And we all know what we do with buffs.
Oh yeah, those always go real well. But like, seriously though, is like losing our random bullshit finishes actually that big a deal?
No, it really isn't.
I mean, I guess it's a one of those nice attention to detail things that whole thing works at all, I guess, but also like, right? It's like, that's it. Not like I get the impression that this fight needs much more bullshit, but also I can't help be slightly underwhelmed.
Yeah, that's kind of my feelings on it too, is that, like, it's not much of a gimmick, but frankly, the fact that we have to do all of this again does not, like, that's enough of a gimmick in and of itself.
I mean, there's a specific kind of circumstance where you can get away with doing this kind of thing in an RPG or even in an action game where you just like, yeah, we're gonna make you fight the same boss again, but on all its bullshit. And that's when the fight is fun. Oh, sorry, wait, are we healing? Is that a thing now?
Yeah. Like I said, they have a few new toys. Most notably that Giacomo can just casually be like, hey, here's an extra 2200 HP that you can have. That was only like 4 turns that you wasted.
Cool. Good. Fine. So yeah, like, I'm trying to think of good examples of like times when a game is able to do this. Like they just bring back a boss for one more round, and it's either just like mechanically or thematically interesting. I feel like it's not a one-to-one that, but I'm gonna go with that time towards the end of Final Fantasy VII in the tunnel in Midgar in Disc 2 when you fight all the Turks and they're like, you know, fuck it, there's no point. Why are we even fighting? And you can just be like, you know what, fuck it, we're fighting. And then you have a fight, and it's just all of them. It's not very much of a thing in the end, but like, that's one time when it makes sense.
Give my regards to Georg and Fee.
Fee.
Anyway, I guess we lose in a cutscene. Gotta love that old gambit.
See, but if we didn't lose in a cutscene, we couldn't have this flashback. It wouldn't be so meaningful.
It's so dark. I'm scared. Callus, where are you?
Fee, I'm right here. You'll be all right. I'm with you, Fee. It's just a scratch. It'll heal in no time. We made a promise. Remember? We're gonna go find the ocean together. You've got a ton of things to ask that whale, right?
Oh right, the ocean.
Callus, I'm sorry.
That was the whole thing, wasn't it?
I can keep my promise. Find the ocean. Find the whale for me.
Fee, you've got to fight this. Don't go. Please, don't leave me. Don't leave me alone. Fee. Fee. Fee.
Anyway, remembering this makes us win for some reason.
Fee, I'm sorry. I don't think I can make it.
Callus?
Are you all right, Callus?
Oh, we just got murdered in a cutscene even though we won. Do we look alright?
Fee saved my life that night.
Callus!
You know, you really gotta wonder why Giacomo didn't do that one just from the start.
At last, you realize who you are. At first, I couldn't understand what had happened. I was sure you must have died that night 2 years ago. Yet, as events unfolded, an inspiration became a theory, and a theory became an obsession. That your brother, Fee, the divine child, lives within you. On that night 2 years ago, Fee gave you his life, allowing you to absorb his Magnus.
How many levels of Heart of the Cards are we on?
Fee,
At least 3?
I'm sorry. I don't think I can make it.
Like, I have honestly lost count. Why did they make that animation take so long? Like, I know that's really not the point here, but like, come on.
It was very important that they showed off their ability to make particle effects.
Fee's Magnus.
We are talking about the GameCube after all.
You could have done that with sprites.
There is only
Some
one
motion blur.
to open the door to the Magnus of life. It's you, Callus. But all this is no longer important to me. I have no interest in the Magnus of life or the divine child. Fee's story is now over!
I'm sensing a lot of bitterness towards Fee somehow.
Giacomo! You destroyed Gramps' winglet! You!
My father, Georg, is dead. So is the Emperor. When you and Larikush die, everything will be over. Yes, everything.
Yep, everything.
Time to die, Callus.
You will definitely achieve peace.
Huh?
Also,
It's over.
like, did they really have to... Right, I was gonna say, I'm getting, like, weirdly thematically put off by the statue in the background with the notably 2 wings. Though it's good to know something's coming of that.
It's a winglet. Gramps?
Yep, the big secret thing that Georg left Callus was another winglet.
Damn!
Just in case his broke somehow?
Is this
Or
what you left for
something?
me?
Checks out. I mean, it doesn't make any less sense than the rest of this gambit.
You born failure! Good for nothing, freak. Why don't you go join the other freaks in Core Hydra? Yeah.
Man, what I wouldn't have given to be in the voice booth when they were recording that line.
Gramps, everyone keeps calling me One Wing.
And it's a term of respect. Have you ever played Final Fantasy
Yes.
VII?
Why do I only have one wing?
I mean,
Callus, don't
I
be
feel
so
like
worried.
the issue there is that everybody else has no wings, so, you know, having one wing is an improvement on the situation.
Without wings are the next step in evolution.
Whereas basically everybody in this game has two, so...
If this is true, it means you're one big step ahead of them.
That's not what I asked about. Why only one?
A difficult question, I'd say. The wings of the heart are the visual manifestation of the energy, willpower, and aura that any person has. They are strongly affected by an individual's emotions. As emotions are involved, so is the mind. That is to say, the electrical signals from the left and right hemispheres.
So Georg is absolutely just bullshitting this
No
child.
idea what you're talking about, Gramps.
I don't know, I feel like we're
Guys,
there's scope for us to add a 4th level of Heart of the Cards to all this, so I've got no problems.
I don't have any wings, but I don't even care.
Well, I do care.
And again, the delivery on these lines is incredible.
Don't worry, Callus. I will do my utmost to make you a wing. A wonderful wing that will grow as you do.
Ah, see, the wing was also getting experience points the entire time, and that's why it was able to suddenly get back up and protect us from Giacomo's attack, you see.
Intend to make you another wing. One that will help you should you be caught up in a fierce struggle.
Oh, so we were literally told about this and then we just
To redeem what
completely
I've
forgot
done
about
for
it.
you.
Okay.
Give me, Callus.
I mean, I know there was a whole thing where we went over like, hey, apparently you just forgot a whole bunch of stuff, but I don't know, this just seems a bit on the nose.
Gramps!
Well, whatever.
Giacomo, you said Fee's story was over. I won't let that happen. As long as I live, Fee's story will never die.
Anyway, your reward for doing all of that is to do the exact same 30-minute fight again.
Except now we have the totally game-changing power of occasionally being able to bullshit a new finisher, I guess? I don't know. I feel like they were so close to being able to get a 5th level of Heart of the Cards into all this, but they just couldn't bring it home. Yeah, this is pretty awful.
There are no changes between this fight and the last, by the way. It is literally the exact same fight, start to finish.
I mean, we get different music. We get the one with the sick guitar solo instead of the weird, like, techno thing. So, every little bit helps, right?
It's over. It's all over.
Anyway, just thank Giacomo. All you needed to do was not fucking come here and bother with any of this bullshit.
Yeah, Giacomo.
Like, have you ever considered that you could have just not?
Good. You two should join forces with Callus. Help them in any way you can. The Empire is gone, and Gelderblame is dead. Don't let them take over this world.
Okay, Giacomo. Now stop it.
Giacomo, don't die on us.
Callus, stop them. Stop Melodia.
I will. I promise you, Giacomo. We'll take care of Melodia.
Life is long when you live it, but so short when you look back. Farewell, Callus.
Like, really, what was I even trying to accomplish here?
Giacomo? Giacomo!
No!
Well, he went out like a punk.
Cast light upon the darkened earth. Save those lost in despair. O mighty ocean, guide us as we journey through the darkest pit of night.
Shella's being very careful to make sure that we don't accidentally have like a fifth fight with Giacomo somehow.
And can you blame her?
Yeah.
I know Giacomo told us to join you, but that doesn't mean we can just forget the past and be all chummy now, does it?
And to Callus, I'll always be a foe. The one who killed his grandfather and brother.
Yeah, you're really in a position to be, like, not forgiving us, sure, aren't you?
Both Falan and I are from Aza village. We were orphans. Gelderblom bought us as guinea pigs for Georg's experiments. Callus, I don't know or care what you think, but the two of us, we're happy Georg's gone. Anyway, see you around.
Please, don't try anything reckless.
Well, that was fucking worthwhile.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little disappointed that Amy didn't flip her off as she was walking off.